There are corners of this planet that quietly refuse to behave the way we expect. Not legends, not rumors, but real places you could stand in. Places that scientists have measured and studied and still describe with a certain careful wonder. Some of them glow. Some of them move on their own. Some hide rivers hot enough to scald, or water the color of rust pouring from blue ice. For most of human history, these spots were simply called sacred, or cursed, or impossible. Today we have instruments, satellites, and patient field researchers, and yet a surprising number of these landscapes keep one foot in mystery. The explanations we do have are often stranger than the myths they replaced. In the next several chapters, we will travel slowly, from a desert crater that has burned for half a century to a cave sealed away from sunlight for millions of years. Settle in, breathe slowly, and let us walk together through the most genuinely puzzling places on Earth. In the flat Karakum Desert of Turkmenistan, there is a pit roughly 70 meters across that has been on fire, without pause, for over 50 years. Locals call it the door to hell. The story goes that Soviet engineers were drilling for natural gas in 1971 when the ground collapsed into a vast cavern. Worried that poisonous methane would seep out, they set it alight, expecting the flames to burn out within weeks. Instead, the crater is still glowing today, a steady orange furnace ringed by silent desert. What makes it strange is not only its endurance, but how little is firmly documented. The exact date of ignition is disputed, and no one is certain how much gas still feeds it from below. Standing at the rim at night, the heat presses against your face and the sand around it shimmers. Researchers have descended on ropes to sample the extreme microbes thriving in the heat. It is a human accident that became a permanent landmark, a reminder that the line between geology and mistake can blur into something almost eternal. On a dry lake bed in Death Valley called Racetrack Playa, heavy stones move across the cracked ground entirely on their own. Some weigh as much as a person, yet behind each one stretches a long, shallow trail carved into the clay, proof that it traveled hundreds of meters. For decades, the motion was a genuine puzzle. No one had ever seen the rocks move, only the tracks they left behind. Wild theories blamed strong winds, magnetism, even pranksters, but none fit the evidence. The answer came only in 2014, when researchers planted time-lapse cameras and waited. On rare winter days, a thin sheet of water freezes overnight into delicate panes of ice. As the morning sun softens that ice, light breezes nudge the floating sheets, and the moving ice gently shoves the stones along the slick mud. The rocks glide at a slow walking pace, almost invisibly. It took modern patience to catch a process that needed a precise recipe of water, ice, sun, and wind, all aligning in one of the driest places on the continent. Off the southern coast of Western Australia sits a small lake whose water is the unmistakable pink of bubblegum. Lake Hillier is only about 600 meters long, edged by a thin band of pale sand and dark eucalyptus forest, with the deep blue ocean just beyond. Seen from the air, the contrast is startling, a vivid pink puddle resting beside a navy sea. Unlike some colored waters, Hillier keeps its hue even when you scoop it into a glass. For a long time, the exact cause was uncertain. Researchers now point to a community of salt-loving microorganisms, especially an alga that produces reddish pigments, working together with particular bacteria in the extremely salty water. The lake is roughly as salty as the Dead Sea, an environment most life avoids. Yet here that harshness is precisely what paints the surface. Visitors are rare, since the lake sits on a protected island, and that isolation has helped keep it pristine. It is a quiet lesson that some of the strangest colors in nature come from the smallest living things. Deep in the Peruvian Amazon flows a river so hot that it can cook small animals that fall in. For years, geologists doubted it existed, since boiling rivers usually live near active volcanoes, and the nearest one here is hundreds of kilometers away. Yet the river is real, stretching for several kilometers, with stretches that steam in the humid air and reach temperatures near boiling. A geoscientist named Andres Russo, who first heard of it as a childhood legend from his grandfather, eventually traveled in and confirmed it with measurements. The likely explanation is geothermal. Rainwater seeps deep into the earth through cracks and faults, is heated far below, and then rises back to the surface through a network of springs, emerging hot enough to scald. Local communities have long held the place sacred, treating its healers and its waters with deep respect. Mist drifts over the dark current, and the surrounding jungle presses close. It is a striking reminder that even in a well-mapped age, the rainforest still guards secrets that sound impossible until someone simply goes and feels the heat. In the Afar region of Ethiopia lies one of the hottest and lowest places on the planet, a landscape that looks more like another world than our own. The Danakil Depression sits below sea level, where average temperatures climb past 40 degrees Celsius and rain almost never comes. Here the ground itself seems alive with color. Bright yellow, green, and orange crusts of sulfur and salt ring bubbling acid pools and hissing vents. Salt flats stretch white to the horizon, broken by spires that grow as mineral-rich water evaporates. 3 tectonic plates are slowly pulling apart beneath this spot, which is why molten activity sits so close to the surface, including one of the world's few persistent lava lakes nearby. Scientists study its extreme pools because the tiny organisms surviving there hint at how life might endure on other planets. For the people of the Afar, the region is also one of the oldest salt mining routes on Earth, worked by camel caravans for centuries. Few places make the raw machinery of our planet feel so close and so unforgiving. In the frozen expanse of Antarctica, a deep red stain spills from the white face of the Taylor Glacier, as if the ice itself were wounded. Early explorers who found it in the early 20th century assumed red algae were to blame. The truth turned out to be far stranger. Sealed beneath the glacier lies a lake of ancient, extremely salty water, trapped for perhaps 1 million years, completely cut off from sunlight and oxygen. That trapped water is rich in iron. When it finally finds a path to the surface and meets the air, the iron oxidizes, essentially rusting, and turns a vivid blood red. What astonished scientists most was the discovery that microbes live down there in the dark, salty cold, surviving on iron and sulfur without any sunlight at all. They have endured in isolation for ages, a hidden ecosystem under hundreds of meters of ice. Bloodfalls became a small window into how life might persist in the most sealed and frozen corners of a world, or even beneath the ice of a distant moon. Tucked into a forest in western New York, a small waterfall hides a soft secret behind its curtain of water. In a shallow grotto at its base, a real flame flickers, golden and steady, sheltered from the spray. People relit it for generations, treating it as a quiet local marvel. The flame is fed by natural gas seeping up through the rock, and you can sometimes see the bubbles rising through the pool. What surprised researchers is how the gas is made. Most natural gas forms when rock is heated to very high temperatures deep underground. Here the rock is comparatively cool and close to the surface, yet it still produces gas, suggesting a process that science does not yet fully understand. The little flame can go out and is often relit by passing hikers, so it is not truly eternal, but the seep beneath it never stops. Walking up to it through damp green woods, the sight of fire glowing inside falling water feels gently impossible, a tiny puzzle burning patiently in plain view. Near the Black Sea coast of Romania lies a cave that was sealed away from the outside world for around 5.5 million years. Muval Cave was discovered by accident in 1986 during construction work, and what scientists found inside rewrote ideas about how life can survive. The air down there is thick and poisonous to us, low in oxygen and heavy with hydrogen sulfide and carbon dioxide. No sunlight has reached its depths since long before modern humans existed. Yet the cave teems with life. Dozens of species live nowhere else on Earth, including pale, eyeless spiders, scorpions, leeches, and strange crustaceans. With no sunlight to power them, these creatures depend on bacteria that draw energy from chemicals in the water, a process called chemosynthesis, building an entire food web in total darkness. Researchers must descend carefully with breathing equipment, since the atmosphere can be dangerous. Movil is one of the closest things we have to an alien ecosystem on our own planet, a sealed world that quietly evolved its own rules while the surface kept changing above it. In a quiet valley in central Norway, strange lights have appeared in the night sky for decades. Residents of Hestdalen describe glowing orbs, sometimes white, sometimes yellow or red, that hover, drift slowly, or dart away. Reports surged in the early 1980s, and unlike most such tales, this one drew serious scientific attention. Researchers set up cameras, radar, and instruments in the valley, and they have repeatedly recorded the lights on film and sensors. So the phenomenon itself is not in doubt. The puzzle is what causes it. Leading ideas suggest that unusual chemistry in the valley may be at work, perhaps dust containing metals reacting in the air, or natural electrical processes tied to the local geology and rich mineral deposits. Some episodes may even be glowing pockets of ionized gas. No single explanation has fully won out, and the lights do not appear on demand, which makes them hard to study. Hestdalen stands out because it is a genuine unsolved natural mystery being chased not with superstition, but with patient measurement, year after year in the cold northern dark. What ties these places together is not the supernatural. It is the humbling fact that our planet is still full of corners we are only beginning to understand. A river heated by hidden depths, stones nudged by ice, a lake painted by microbes, a cave that built its own dark world. In almost every case, the real explanation, once found, turned out to be more remarkable than any legend. And in a few cases, the answer is still out there, waiting for someone patient enough to measure it. That is the quiet gift of these strange landscapes. They keep us curious, they keep us careful, and they remind us how much wonder remains in plain sight. If this calm journey gave you a moment of peace or sparked your curiosity, I would be grateful if you would like this video. Leave a comment telling me which place you would most like to visit, and subscribe so we can keep exploring quiet wonders together. Thank you for spending this time with me. This was News, Cues, and Views.